Armoured Pants here, World of Tank Blitz, how's it going? I have another video for you, don't I? This one is a review of the Edelweiss. Now, recently did a review of the Edelweiss and the Hafen, but that was more a recommendation of which one to get because they're both for sale. But now actually just a full review here of the Edelweiss. Now, Edelweiss, Alpine Flower, the German parachutists used to have to gather before they could get their bones or their badges or whatever the hell. Anyway, let's have a look at the tank. So, firstly, let me say this is a fucking great tank. It's relatively good value for money. It's a brilliant medium tier 7 tank. It performs really well when top tier, and it performs really well even when up tiered, which you'll see in the game I'm going to show you now. What can we say about this tank? Well, I mean, it's fast. It does 52 kilometers an hour. It has has a great gun. Has a good rate of fire. It has good penetration even on the AP rounds, but load up some APCR. And it won't let you down even if up tiered. Has a 90mm gun, so it's pretty standard tier 7, tier 8 medium tank gun. The gun handling is great. The aiming time in particular is brilliant, which is really handy if you're in brawls. And you'll see that actually the aiming time in the gun really helps me out in the gameplay. You will see in the game that's coming now in a few minutes. It's mobile, as I said, does 52 kilometers an hour. It's map friendly, terrain friendly. There isn't really any map that doesn't suit it. And it has an amazing turret. The turret is small, difficult to hit. And even if you do hit it, it has good armor, so you're going to have bounces on it. And you'll see lots of bounces in this game as well. So it is a very decent hold down tank. But, having said that, the frontal armor is pretty good too. If we have a look at it here. Look at those angles that you can get, and it also has spaced armour on the sides which will protect you from HE rounds. The gun mantle is almost impenetrable, and the gun mantle actually takes up quite a lot of the front of it. It's kind of like a bit like a rhino's horn there, isn't it? On the back, if you keep moving around, you'll see you can even get some decent enough angles on the back as long as you keep moving. And I always say in a medium or a light tank, movement is its strength, so keep moving all the time. I mean, you see here, have a look at the armor performance when straight up against tier 6, tier 7, but even against tier 8, look at that, it's pretty much red all the time. If you get hull down there, you can see you can cause all sorts of havoc there. Now, it recommends peekaboo because it's got this really short aiming time, but it's also good for long range snipe and anything else you do with a medium tank. Now, let's have a look at the gameplay. Now, before we go into this, I want to talk about this map. This map to me is different to many other maps in that it is effectively two different maps. Unlike many maps, the rail line down the middle of this effectively splits this into two. So it's almost two games in one. And it's also a map unlike others where you can't really go down the middle because it's kind of split in half. Now, what you need to do here, and more important than any other map, is read the Reds list, read what the opposition is, see what they're going to do. And you really kind of have to go out onto the desert if you feel you're going to get flanked, because otherwise they come in behind you and then it's game over. And you know, as we've always said, it doesn't really matter what kind of player you are, how good you are. If you get caught on two sides, you're dead, right? It's in the story. You can't. The gun only goes in one direction, so you can't fire rounds in two directions, and you can't defend yourself if you're hemmed in on both sides. Doesn't matter who you are. You can be the most super unicorn player in the world. You're not going to be able to do it. So therefore, I looked at the Reds list here and decided that we had to hold this flank because we were gonna their meds and lights were gonna come that way, and we didn't want to get overrun. And thankfully, the T54 Mod 1 decided to do the same thing. And as you'll see, actually, he's a very good player, very clever player. Me and him do a stand-up job here on this, holding this flank. Now, why did I go to this aeroplane? This is something I often do in this map. But if you have a tall tank like the Edelweiss, where you can actually fire over the body of the plane and just expose your hull, just expose your turret, you are going to do all sorts of damage. And if you've got somebody helping you like this T54 Mod 1, who makes sure that they can't get in behind you, then you can just do massive amount of damage. And you can see here, I am just farming damage here. I haven't taken a single piece of damage myself. And you know, just the shape of the tank here in this Edelweiss really lends itself to adapt in that position. Now if you're in a low tank like an RU-251, that position is not as good because you can't get your gun over the body of the plane without exposing yourself. So just be aware, different tank types will suit that position, and other tank types it's a disadvantage. Now you saw there me and the T-54 Mod 1, let's say he's my Wolfpack partner, we were able to clear up there, we were able to inflict all sorts of damage, and because he's a good player and stopped him getting around behind me, I was able to utilise that position and we were able to help each other out. But as I said, the Edelweiss or any tall tank lends itself to that position. A smaller or lower tank does not. Now we need to come around to try and help our heavies. So basically we finished the first part of that game, if you take that analogy I made earlier, and now we're into the second part of the game. Now I make a mistake here, I pull out here, I thought I was going to get behind him, I did not see that OS there and I just got fucking smashed. It's the first piece of damage I've taken in the game. I'm going to put one into him there, try to get around behind him, yep, I swing it, but the Ferdinand is going to put another one into me, track him. Now I need to use some cover, but the IS gets me. But luckily I'm able to repair, still have some kits, take him out. It's fucking fast and furious now, and then we reduced it down to 2 tanks each. And let's see what we can do here. So I back on here, and I'm always trying to help my mate out. I'm always looking at the mini map, see where he is, can we get around here. So I'm going to try to put one into this IS on the back side. No damage, but I blow his modules. See the manoeuvrability of the tank here. Now I'm switching up to APCR because I don't want to be fucking around. I can't afford any bounces here. Now it's a bit of a cat and mouse situation, isn't it? But this T-54 Mod 1 is a very clever player, and what he does here is he decides to go and cap. Why is that? Well, the thinking here is that puts that IS in a difficult situation, because the IS, he knows that I'm a one-shot for him, but if he comes out and I get around behind him, then he's dead. But because we've capped, it means that now puts all the onus on him. He has to do something, he has to make a decision, because we're going to win on points. T-54 knows he has conserved his hit points, he goes around, takes one for the team, and that allows me to clean up. And that was just great team play, and I have to say it was a pleasure playing with that guy. He was just brilliant throughout the game. He's from Envy Clan, by the way. Now I got a master in that game, 2.7k of damage, and I was up tier to strike 4. Look at the results, and you'll see that the T-54 Mod 1 did over 3.5k damage, 3 kills, we did everything between us. He got a mastery badge as well. Very unusual double mastery in a game, and it was a fantastic carry from both of us. And it was just the first time I'd actually mastered the Edelweiss, come close a few times, first time ever. And you can see here he is, Lane Art from the Envy Clan. Pleasure playing with you, mate. Brilliant performance all around, great, clever play all the way around, and a pleasure to play with. And thanks also for helping me get my mastery. Now some takeaways: get the front facing the enemy with the Edelweiss, right? Use its speed, use its gun, and seize that position like I did with the plane. You know, get there and get the position that you want on the map. Use the agility, never remain static, because stopping is dropping, right? And that should be the golden rule when you play Lights and Meds. Don't stop, because their strength is movement, so keep moving. Anyway, there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. Music is the Horde Warcraft original soundtrack, and Flight of the Valkyries is quite apt for the Edelweiss because it's from the Valkyrie tank range, isn't it? Alright, subscribe, follow, or don't, or whatever. Alright, cheers, take it easy now. See you now, boys.